Cyber risk is moving on several fronts at once, from active threats to broader defensive pressure. Welcome to the Kernel Panic Brief. Today, we're covering several major cybersecurity developments that matter for defenders, security leaders, and incident response teams. Several vulnerabilities were reported as actively exploited or highly likely to draw immediate attacker interest. Our next story is researcher drops new Windows 0-day PoC hours after Microsoft Patch Tuesday. This is the latest development in an ongoing issue we have been tracking. Security researcher Chaotic Eclipse, aka Nightmare Eclipse, has released a new proof of concept PoC exploit called LegacyHive. It has been described as a Windows user profile service arbitrary hive load elevation of privileges vulnerability. The Windows user profile service, also referred to as ProfSvc, is a core system component that manages user accounts and environments. The PoC requires why this matters. Active exploitation raises the chance of immediate real-world impact and shortens response time. For defenders, the immediate takeaway is to validate exposure, review detections, and confirm that response playbooks still match the current threat picture. Our next story is we built a vulnerability vending machine. AI tokens in, 0 days out. Intruder built an AI-powered vulnerability vending machine that combines code slicing with LLMs to automatically discover complex software vulnerabilities. The company explains how the system found and exploited a previously unknown WordPress plugin 0-day, with additional discoveries already under responsible disclosure. Why this matters. Active exploitation raises the chance of immediate real-world impact and shortens response time. For defenders, the immediate takeaway is to validate exposure, review detections, and confirm that response playbooks still match the current threat picture. Our next story is U.S. charges alleged operators of Russian bulletproof hosting service. U.S. federal prosecutors have unsealed charges against 3 Russian nationals, accusing them of providing bulletproof hosting, BPH, services to ransomware gangs that caused over $62 million in damages to victims worldwide. Why this matters. Ransomware activity can disrupt operations quickly and often requires urgent containment and recovery work. For defenders, the immediate takeaway is to validate exposure, review detections, and confirm that response playbooks still match the current threat picture. Our next story is a video screen that is also a camera. Amazing. Researchers from ETH Zurich in Switzerland, however, managed to create a new type of pixel that can simultaneously do both. This hypercharged pixel, called a Fourier pixel, can generate and sense arbitrary light fields and tap into a pixel's full potential for carrying information by manipulating light's intensity, oscillation phases, and polarization. The team reported its findings in a paper published yesterday in Nature. We are one step closer to 1984 technology. The telescreen received and transmitted simultaneously. Any sound that Winston made above the level of a very low whisper would be picked up by it. Moreover, so long as he remained within the field of vision which the metal plate commanded, he could be seen as well as heard. There was, of course, no way of knowing whether you were being watched at any given moment. Paper. Why this matters. The story signals a meaningful cybersecurity development that may affect defender priorities, exposure, or monitoring. For defenders, the immediate takeaway is to validate exposure, review detections, and confirm that response playbooks still match the current threat picture. Our next story is AsyncAPI NPM packages infected with credential-stealing malware. 5 malicious versions of AsyncAPI packages were published to the Node Package Manager, NPM, in a supply chain attack that delivered a remote access trojan with info stealing capabilities. Why this matters. The story signals a meaningful cybersecurity development that may affect defender priorities, exposure, or monitoring. For defenders, the immediate takeaway is to validate exposure, review detections, and confirm that response playbooks still match the current threat picture. That is your Kernel Panic Brief. If you rely on this roundup, follow the channel for the next daily cybersecurity briefing.